Hey, what's up, everybody? I am your girl Candy, and I finally got Kenya Moore Hair Care to come on and be my guest and speak on it.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree.
I am so glad that I finally have you as my guest, Kenya.
No, it's been a long time coming, but I'm here and I'm ready to shade a bitch.
Oh my God.
Kenya Moore Hair Care.
Kenya Moore Hair Care.
Moore Hair Care.
Kenya Moore Hair Care and Miss Unforgettable.
Miss Boring, I would have talked about her. Miss Unforgettable.
Oh.
Unforgettable or forgettable?
Girl, you ain't in it.
Yes, girl.
So how did you, what did you think about last night's reunion? Or just the reunion so far?
They are haters.
No, I'm not a hater.
It's okay for everybody else
No,
to
that's not
apologize.
true,
It's just
Nene.
not okay.
I've never talked to you on the phone.
All right, so here we go again with the middleman stuff.
You guys are muted now. Wait,
They got you on mute.
Candy,
This
wait.
is the mute. They got you, no sound.
Girl. I thought, for what it was, I thought the first one was pretty funny, actually. I thought it was funny. I thought there were some good reads in there. And I thought it had, it was just action-packed.
Mhm.
So I really liked the first one. The second one, I was like, it's good. But I just get bored with some of the girls. So I was like, if this is what you call a read, honey, you need to go back home and start from the drawing board or go get another ghostwriter to write your reads, honey, because that is a fail.
No, I found, for me, I just felt like it's been such a treat, actually, that for the past few years, I have been telling people some of these girls they be getting their reads from other people and they be practicing and, already be knowing that they gonna rehearsing their reads or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was so happy to see that people saw those notes so they know.
Yes.
That we ain't set up that is true.
Yes, and some people went even as far as to go and hire writers to try to write their reads and comedians and stuff like that. I'm like, girl, if you have to do that
Hire?
at home, yes, hire comedians and writers to do their reads for us. So I'm like, listen, if you have to do all that, you don't have it anymore. It's not in you. Just go away quietly, get yourself read, go check yourself into a nice urgent care facility for mentally ill patients, and you will be good.
Oh my God. I can't with you.
The whole thing about reading somebody is that it's off the cuff. It's not rehearsed. It's just you going toe to toe with someone, matching their wits. If it's already rehearsed and written down, then it's not really reading somebody.
Yeah, I would think so, but some of the fans don't care. They just they just like to hear the back and forth, and then some people don't like it at all. I heard some fans are like, "Oh, I'm so disappointed in you. I don't like all this cattiness," and I'm like, "But that's kind of like what the show has been." You know what I mean? So I don't get you say that.
If everyone sat there and never responded to someone just tearing them a new blank hole, then it would be quite a boring show, right? If everyone just sat there and went, okay, yes, oh yes, you're correct. Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Then this wouldn't be worth watching. I don't think. I think the episodes are a prelude to the reunion. I think people want to see us finally face each other and talk about what each person has said and done throughout the entire season. So I think that's what the reunion is for. That's why they're the highest rated shows.
Okay. So, I have a text group. I just sent the text group. I said, hey, I'm going to be sitting down with Kenya. Do you have any questions that you would like for me to Yeah.
Let the shade storm begin.
Uh-oh. Okay, I want you to just know that Denise Drayton, she said, can you please let Kenya know that she's amazing, strong woman? Please let her know that from me. Okay. So that was from Denise Drayton. Okay, she's, oh, girl. Either you get a lot of love or you get a lot of hate. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that's what they call polarizing. So yeah, I know that. But even if my haters really love me, all I have to do is give them some attention, and they're like my biggest fans. They just want my attention.
Okay. Kimberly Rosa says, do you want to be friends with all the ladies, or is there anyone you are just not interested in being friends with? Like, it is what it is.
I mean, I think that's obvious. That is what I think I've done all season. I think that I've been very deliberate in being honest about, I don't F with you. I know who you are. I know what you've done to me all this time. And I'm good on you. It's okay if we're not friends. You're not meant to be friends with everyone. You're not going to gel with everyone, and that's okay. We have to work together, and I'm willing to be a professional and work with you. But I am not willing to have any type of communication with you outside of this show.
Gotcha. Okay. And that makes sense. That makes sense. This is a question I just saw, but I'm wondering, I'm thinking that is a question for me. This is a question for me. It's not a question for you.
How dare you steal my question?
They say this is from Natalie Williams, but feel free to chime in. They ask, yes, why the all of a sudden beef with you and Nene? And when you've been such a supportive friend to them all off cameras. I don't know.
Started that, but I'll let you answer your own question.
Yeah. I think it's very important that people understand that I didn't just all of a sudden decide that I wanted to have a beef with Nene.
Can either of you explain how this started? Because it seemed that you were getting along well this season. Nene, I know you were on Instagram Live and you were kind of alluding to all of Candy's spinoffs.
No, I was not. No, I was not.
I think one thing I noticed when they had cut us off and muted us, they cut me right before I said my first thought, which was Nene did not have a beef with me or did not start acting funny with me, in my opinion, until Kenya and Eva did interviews to the world and said that I made the most money on the show. And they said that I made more money than her.
But you're after her paycheck. That you want to be the star housewife.
Own money and
No. But the housewife, I mean, she's the top biller.
That's not true. So
who makes the most in Atlanta?
Candy makes the most money.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden, I started seeing her post things, little interviews and interview clips or whatever that she was doing. And she'd be like, oh yeah, she's, Candy is in this alliance. You need to watch her and this, and that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why all of a sudden I need to be watched? Like, what I do? And then shortly thereafter came, which was earlier this year, was the interview clip that they showed last night on the reunion. I could not believe they showed it. Her actually saying, they just keep giving the same person a show season after season, blah, blah, blah. Which
that's just jealousy.
Yeah, which mind you, I did not tell everyone, but right after we taped the reunion that day, the very next day, she had her attorney send me a letter and basically said that I was using her likeness without her permission, basically. And they demanded that I take the video down that I had posted of her saying on her YouTube clip. And so I took the video down at first. I just took her part off on the video where it says how to get your own spinoff. I used to have her at the beginning talking and hating on me about why I got my own spinoff of all these different shows I began, whatever she was saying. I had her saying that at the beginning of the clip, and then I go into telling people how I ended up getting, different shows or whatever in the process in that. But her lawyer sent me a letter saying they wanted me to take it down because they didn't want y'all to see it. But apparently Bravo decided they wanted y'all to see it anyway, and they put it in the TV show.
Let's be clear. Me and her got along all season. Yes, and I did not have no problems with her.
All right.
But you was talking about me, though.
All right.
But you was talking about me,
You're
though.
forgettable.
Girl, please.
They can do all kind of to each other, and it's okay.
She says on there, I don't know why I don't got no show. I mean, they just seem to keep giving the same person the show, the season after season.
Oh, girl,
you've been singing my songs, bitch.
You
I got you on here singing my songs.
Tomorrow, they will forget about you and your outfit.
You been knowing me. You gonna keep knowing me.
So all that. So first of all, let me just say this. She is a very spiteful, hateful person. She does not want anyone to exceed her when it comes to getting other projects outside of Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's why I brought up the whole receipt thing with Portia, because it's like, if this is your friend, why is she hating on you while you're rising? You know what I mean? While you're doing better and while you're getting other jobs. So I wanted her to see the essence of who she is a hateful, jealous person. Friend or foe, hateful. So when it comes to you, even when it comes to Bravo, now here's some real tea. Now, the whole thing with her getting Lisa Bloom and getting her ready to sue people. She was about to sue someone or whatever. It was Bravo. She was suing Bravo and True because she felt like they were
Allegedly.
Okay, me sued. But I will go ahead and say allegedly, so you and I don't get cease and desist letters. But I'm telling you for a fact, and I don't repeat stuff unless I know it's a fact. She was going to allegedly sue Bravo and sue Truly because she was talking about how, she's having all these great meetings, but then nothing happens after that. So she was trying to say or allege that they were stopping her from getting other work. Here's the thing. Nobody's stopping you from getting other work. You're not talented. You don't need to be on anyone else's TV screen doing anything other than looking like a complete buffoon. If you could act, if you could dance, if you could sing, you were pretty, then maybe you would get another opportunity or another show. No, listen, instead of
that was haterish.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't, because she is a caricature. No one wants to hire a caricature. They want to hire someone like you, Candy, who can actually act. You can sing. You might not be able to dance, but I got you in the dance department. You're a pretty girl, and you can cross over into all these other general markets and be the star that you are. Where else can you go in that blonde wig? Okay. Where else can you go with that accent? Where else can she go with that attitude? Nowhere. It's you.
That was harsh, Kenya. That was harsh.
I don't think it was harsh. I think that's the truth. Now, if you want me to speak on it, I will speak on it. But if you're not, I can pack my bag and leave.
Oh. Listen, hold on. Get your butt back down there.
Okay, fine. Fine. Okay.
This is how I feel. I'm not gonna say that she's not talented. It's not that. I mean, everybody has their own opinion of, if somebody's good or not or whatever.
Talented and an ass of herself.
Oh gosh, but she's accomplished a lot. And my thing is,
yes, you have accomplished a lot. She went from swinging on a pole.
Oh God.
No, she did. Look, this is the truth. This is not anything that's not the truth, right? So
you were a time ago, though.
You were a stripper, and now you are on one of the biggest platforms there is on television for reality personalities. That is an amazing accomplishment. You went on to do Broadway. You got a job. Someone gave you a job. Great. Those are major things. You can't take that away. But at the same time, with you trying to hate on other people's accomplishments, you have to be as happy for someone else's accomplishments as you are for your own. That was one of my affirmations before I entered Miss Universe, Miss USA, Miss Michigan, because if you're hating on someone else, that's blocking your own blessings. The reason why she's not getting other jobs is because she is blocking her own blessings. She is her own worst enemy. Now, I said it.
You damn so you said a lot. God.
Okay, so that's the end of the show.
No, that's not the end of the show. I still got more.
That's the truth. I see the truth, and that's what it is.
Here's the thing, Kenya. Okay. Here's the thing. I love you to death, right? I love you to death, and I feel like this. We got a lot. We have become great friends, and I feel like I caught a lot of heat this season because we are friends. But my thing is, I feel like I don't have to feel how everybody else feels about you or whatever. But I do recognize your ass goes hard. I was like, damn.
That's
Huh?
in response to listen, I think honestly, Candy, you know more. You and Cynthia knew what I was going through. Like you guys knew the stuff while I was pregnant when I wasn't on the show and what I was actually in fact going through and how I was feeling. I mean, I would call you and you understood, like you understood what it was like to be depressed and be pregnant or be happy and be pregnant or all of the emotions that I was feeling, even with Mark being great at times, being like, you know, not there. I was having some issues of my own, and I didn't realize how much that may have carried over into the show because no, I'm not going to fight people that I care about and love. But yeah, I'm going to fight everybody else. And is that good or bad? Who's to say? But I think that I was just tired of being with, you know what I mean? And it's always like I'm minding my own business. I'm not really bothering this person over here. And I'm on a TV show, so I'm having conversations, making things interesting. And then people want to come for my throat, and then I'll respond, and it's like, oh, she's so mean, she's so evil, she's so. Well, what about the person who was intentionally effing with me? So I don't intentionally bother people. Yeah, I respond in a way that's probably over the top.
Okay, well, this is a question in reference to what you just said. When you do get to look back at those moments, when your response to people that have done things in your eyes or whatever, do you ever look at it and be like, I didn't have to go that hard? Do you ever question yourself and be like, is this too much?
Yeah, it's certain situations like when it comes to my friends. And for instance, the whole Grease thing with Cynthia and the wine. Like, hold on a second. Oh my God, I left the door open. Hold on, I'm sorry. It's raining like cats and dogs. Hold on. Like all of a sudden raining so hard. Yeah, and they're out there, you know, I'm putting a pool in. So they're
Okay.
Yes. It's not gonna be indoors like yours, Candy, but damn, can I start somewhere?
Okay, back to the question.
I mean, yeah, of course. Absolutely. And I think that I acknowledge those scenarios often, like when people try to, you know, bring up Kim Fields, and I remember pulling out her chair.
Let me pull your chair for you. Kenya, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's go. Don't do that.
Oh my God, I felt awful about that. I really did feel really awful about that because it could have gone left. She definitely was a classy person. She handled it with class, and if she was someone else, it could have ended very differently. So I remember being asked about it, like on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, and I was like, yeah, I felt really, really bad about that. I felt bad about calling Tanya a C word. I've never called anyone that. Even though Black women don't really see that as a really offensive word, but you know, Tanya's half white, so I get why she was so offended. And I'm not I'm not trying to come for the white girls, but we all know that most people don't even use that word. Black women don't even use that word because that's
like, huh?
word. Yeah, exactly. That's the word that other Black women use to, you know, denigrate other Black women. So, in my opinion. So I still, nonetheless, I know she was deeply offended by that. And I just felt like, you know what, I have more class than that. And I don't need to hit that hard below the belt and calling her a name like that, especially when she wasn't calling me names. So I did feel awful about that. And so, yeah, I think when things happen that I feel like I feel, not what other people feel, what I feel, my truth, when I go too far, I definitely apologize. I've apologized dozens of times to people on the show. And what they'll have you believe is that I don't, but I always apologize when I think that I'm wrong.
Chiquita Gray Sapp says, Kenya, I love your comebacks. Okay, so Regina Anderson wants to know, is she happy with her husband now, or is she doing it for Brooklyn?
Well, we're still separated, and because we're being quarantined, he's not here. And listen, the only thing that I can say is I am going to do whatever I can to try to make the marriage work, as long as I feel that Mark can change his ways and be the husband that he promised me he would be to me and that he started off being. And if I get to a point where that is not the case and we can't work it out, then that is going to be the best thing for Brooklyn, because I don't want her to grow up in a household where her model of love is what you have seen on TV. Now, Candy, you've seen Mark with me more than anybody else. And you know, he doesn't behave like that. He always acts like he's, you know, in love. And
yeah, y'all was like really good. Like I got videos of y'all having a good time with us when you was pregnant, and we were dancing and having fun at the restaurant at Old Lady Gang. I mean, times when we were at his restaurant in New York when he's kissing you on the cheek, and y'all was just having, and me and Ty was just sitting next to each other. Y'all was over there kissy face. But I think for me, that's what I like to take away from you know, when I think about you guys' relationship. I mean, I already know how it is. Everybody has issues. And when I think people also didn't understand when I was trying to, you know, once again, they tried to say, oh, you just, you know, taking it. When I said, I don't think it's karma. I think it's more than just karma. I think the simple fact that you guys have a long distance relationship and you recently had a child, that puts a lot of stress and tension on any relationship, no matter what. And people just, I don't know, they just, I think sometimes people just want to be mad with you, so they don't even want to see that.
They don't want to be empathetic toward me, and they think that I'm strong and I can take it, but I'm human and I have a heart and I feel and I love really hard, and I'm a very, very loyal person and very loyal friend and very loyal wife. And that's more than a lot of people that are on this show can say. Because a lot of these hoes ain't loyal. And a lot of these hoes definitely ain't loyal in their marriage.
Okay, moving right along.
I always want to say, oh, what is Mark over there doing? Mark. Well, you know what? Let that be Mark's issue, because what I can say is I can control myself. And I'm not responsible for other people's behavior. I'm responsible for my damn self. And so if I'm going to face someone that is not being kind to me or not being loyal or not being the person that you think that they are, that's not my problem. I'm going to continue giving love and showing kindness in hopes that I can be the love that that person is missing in their life. And if that is a personality flaw in me when it comes down to my husband, then let that be a personality flaw. There can be worse things in the world. But if it ever crosses the line into becoming abusive and all of that stuff, then I'm out. You know, I can only give so much. And I'll tell you this, when Mark and I first got married and when we were speaking before, when we were dating, he said to me, and this is something I don't think I've ever said it to you before. When I first was dating Mark, and one of the things that made me really fall in love with him and know that he was really sincere is he said, I wanted to be a better father and a better husband, because he felt like he failed the first time around. And I thought, wow, you know, that's just something you just want to give somebody a chance to do over and to get it right. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to put it, but I just felt like that's a really deep statement to make. And it's a really vulnerable place to be asking of someone, please allow me to be a better husband. Please allow me to be a better man,
right?
A better father. And it just broke my heart when he said it to me.
Okay, y'all. Here's another question.
I'm done.
I don't want you to be emotional, so let's go to something else.
Yeah, let's go to something else.
Barbara Richards asks, is she and Portia ever going to be cool? So are y'all cool now, or are you not cool? You're cool now? Because it's like y'all were like really cool, and then it was like the little shade. And last night, what I took from what Portia was saying was there were things in her mind that she felt you said that were offensive, like the doggy.
That was one thing she said. One.
Okay, but what I'm saying is her point was why is it okay for you to throw shade? It'd be funny, and then when she throws shade, it's not funny. So what's going on with y'all right now?
No, I was okay with her throwing shade. It was just every single episode. And then she goes out of her way to try to make Cynthia feel like I'm like a horrible person and I'm a bad friend. And then the whole evil necklace and the whole black cat and all that. Like, and then the conversation she had with Nene, like, oh, I knew she was gonna, like, what have I done to you? What have I done to you? I supported you during your entire pregnancy. That's a fact. Off camera, I didn't even have a job. I'm laying in my bed pregnant helping you. And then when she had her special, I helped her promote her special. She didn't ask me. I said, Portia, send me the information. Let me post it for you. My fans are not her fans. So I was like, well, if they see me posting for you, maybe they'll see, you know, listen, we are in a different place. We're in a better place. And that can be great for both of us. And then when it came down to, you know, all of this stuff with her and Dennis, I could have blown her head off about that. I know a whole lot more about that. And I'm like, no, if this man is who she wants and she's happy with him, then I'm going to be supportive and say, if it makes Portia happy, then I'm happy because I really did care for the girl. But now I've seen her doing IG videos with her mama talking about me. She's talking about me. She's referencing, you know, our altercation. She's making fun of it on her Dish Nation show. She's talking all kind of stuff, you know, being very aggressive toward me at the reunion and trying to pick a fight and just coming after me at every turn. I was like, you know what? That's not somebody who wants to be my friend. And I was a genuine friend to her, and I cannot say the same for her. And I think that she should just be with people who she thinks are her real friends. And that's that.
Have y'all had a conversation off camera? Like, have y'all tried to reach out each other and talk about it?
Try to lie on me yet again. And I'm thinking, okay, you are the biggest liar on the show. You need to stop. Now, we all know the lies that you have told, one after the other, and about other people's husbands, relationships, friendships, situations. And remember, Candy, when we were in Greece, she spilled all the beans and eventually told the truth when she was drunk on some Hennessy and was sitting up there telling the truth. But she basically, everything you said, she basically said you were telling the truth. You know, listen, she likes to talk. That truth serum comes out when she's drinking. So for me, her being drunk on the reunion and her talking about me the way she did and coming after me the way she did, I'm like, that's really her truth. So that's how she really feels. So if she really feels that way, then I don't need friends like that in my life. I wish her well. What's that side eye for? You know the conversation we had. You can't believe you're like,
I don't even know what to say. Like, my thing is, she and I have definitely been trying to work at getting to a better place in the last year or whatever. Or even before that. We've been working on this for a minute.
You know, Candy, you actually made it your business this season not to be in Portia's affairs. Were you trying to protect your growing friendship with Portia?
And you know, every now and then we have a little hiccup. And, you know, I'm trying to do my best not to be the one to be, you know, coming crazy or whatever. So, you know, I don't really want to go into all the extra stuff that they did not show on television.
yes.
Because you know my motto, and that's not just with her, but with anybody. You know, the stuff that happens off camera, I try my best to
Even off camera.
She said some things on camera, yes, that
on camera.
Things that she has denied before.
Yes, lied. I didn't listen. At the end of the day, I'm like, why are you coming?
But they did not show it.
They didn't show it.
With that being said,
it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I'm not saying anything about that.
I'm not trying to be a bad guy, Candy. That is the truth. You and I were both like, wow. And it was all on camera, but they didn't show it. I guess they didn't think it was important to, you know, rehash the lies that have been told and make, you know, the truth be clear. But here's the other thing before we forget that point. I really, really took umbrage to the fact that she would try to lie about that text conversation that we had about Cynthia. That was some bogus ass receipts, honey. That was some crazy.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's a good question. To try to list, I did talk to Cynthia about it last week, and basically what Cynthia said was that she didn't feel like the receipt was much of a receipt. She felt like
No, those receipts was up all the Hennessy she bought so she could sit up on the reunion and be drunk. That's what those receipts were about.
she felt like the receipts was more about
It was more about Eva than it was about Cynthia.
well, that's what Cynthia said.
But where was all this? I'm coming for her. I'm sick of her. I'm gonna take her out. All this crazy stuff she was saying, and all I said was mesmerized by Eva. That was the only thing that I said.
Well, can I say something? You know, I was saying that through the whole thing. Can I say something?
Right.
Honestly, I felt like you guys had a misunderstanding there. I mean, meaning the whole thing about the receipts or whatever. I think she came there thinking your receipts were going to be about her, when in reality, your receipts was just basically saying that Nene is not really a real friend to you.
Yeah, it was never about her.
You know, how are y'all, you know, having
That's
this
true. She thought she was gonna have to defend herself.
Yeah,
but
she thought you was going to say something about her and you didn't. So
and
I
I
think
never did. I
you
never did.
were ready thinking you were about to come at her and it didn't go that way.
Exactly, and I wasn't. I never planned to. I don't have an issue with her. She has the issue with me. I never planned to have any receipts because she kept saying, well, you said this and that. I said, actually, no, I didn't. I never mentioned your name. I said I have some receipts, and I was always referring to Nene not being a good friend to her. I know how many times Nene has dragged me and Cynthia on the phone to the network complaining about Portia, complaining about what are they going to do about Portia insecurity, complaining about why does she still have a job? All of this stuff. I have been on so many phone calls initiated by Nene about Portia that I care to remember. So I'm like, girl, this girl, I have never fallen out with Cynthia to the point where I'm going to trash her to the world. I'm sitting there, talking about she needs to lose her job, talking about the way she raises her children, talking about how the whole Snakegate is about Nene trying to expose Cynthia and make everyone think that she is a bad person.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, well, let's move on to this.
Right? Or is it not? The entire thing, Brooklyn. Oh my gosh, she just put milk.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Candy. I have no help.
I'm sorry. This is you're really giving a lot of insight on a lot of things. Now, I feel bad because I feel like we can't really go too much into Snakegate because obviously they show that Yvonne is going to come on the next episode. But can I say one thing about that?
Yeah.
It has been put out there to the world that basically Nene left because we were going so hard on her and all this other kind of stuff.
Lies.
Yes. This is what I have to say about that. When she got up and left, we weren't even talking to her anymore.
Right.
She literally, guys, got up and left after she saw that Yovanna had posted a picture that she was about to be on the episode.
30 on my bag. That's brick fair. Y'all hoes won't last. We gonna snap all year, yeah.
Yep, that is why she left.
That is why she left. She didn't leave because of us.
She knew Yovanna was coming because Yovanna posted on Instagram that she was on her way to the reunion, and that's why she got up and left. Because she kept there was somebody, I guess, I don't know if it was Greg or her son, kept talking to her off camera or whatever, signaling her or whatever. She had her phone, and that's why she left. So listen, isn't she the one that was talking about, oh, I'm Floyd Mayweather, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna knock people out, they better have me, they're gonna get red, and then here she is, the biggest punk on the show, and runs away as soon as she knows she's going to be exposed or she's been getting red and her wig is flipped back.
Yeah, she did not leave because of us. It was not us. I mean, we were going in, definitely, for sure. I mean, because obviously we knew she was planning on going in on us. She had told everybody she was going in on us. Not to mention, she had been a full back and forth with me on text when we was damn near cussing each other out.
Those were some nasty texts. boy. This is some nasty text.
So I already knew she was gonna be coming for me, and she knew that it was gonna be this back and forth. So it wasn't because of us that she got up and left. She got up literally a few minutes after Giovanna posted that she was coming to the show.
Let's clear the air.
Now, that which brings me to also say that is why I was saying she was doing those damage control posts right after, because basically she had already put out there to y'all why she didn't want to talk to Giovanna, because I feel like she's already trying to implant in you guys' head.
Yes, and that's what she does. That's what people do. And that's exactly what she does. But she projects. Yeah.
With that being said, you're gonna have to wait to see part 3 of the reunion to see what Giovanna said.
Okay. All right.
They both look snakish.
What's the matter?
Oh, the baby.
It's her nap time and she doesn't want to go to bed.
Okay. I mean, it's so, you know what, Kenya, you shouldn't have went this long without even coming to the on my speak on it, because I have so many questions.
Let's do a part 2 later then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do one, because like, girl,
It's a lot.
like, I don't know. I need all y'all I need you to speak on it again, honey.
I wasn't specifically speaking of Tanya initially.
Oh my
I started to engage her when she started asking me the questions.
Her plan was intentional from the very beginning.
That's not true.
You just got here a half hour ago. People haven't got batteries.
Bring it, girl.
Can I say this? Let me say this.
What?
I personally wish, I don't know if it's even possible, but I wish that you and Tanya could do a do-over. The reason why I say that is because prior to this whole cookie gate, you guys were really hitting it off, in my opinion. And I just kind of wish that you could like do a do-over and cut that whole situation out of it, because it just really don't make no sense that you gotta have to y'all have to be enemies. I just hate that.
Well, I'm not her enemy. Honestly, I'm not her enemy. I just don't think much of her anymore. And honestly, I think that the crowd that she's running with dumbs her down. I think that she's an intelligent woman. I'm just not sure that she's smart. And
Very intelligent. I gotta just
I'm giving her that. Clearly, she's a nurse, so she's got to have some kind of sense in her head. But I just feel like she is aligning herself and listening to people who don't have her back or her best interest at heart. Because I think that we could have easily gotten over whatever it was. If she felt I was speaking about Paul, she could have just called me on the phone and said, "Hey, were you talking about Paul? Because if you are, I just really would like to know. I don't want anything being said about him in the public. If that's the case," I would have said, "Yeah, well, there was a woman, but I wasn't going to say anything. I was just having a conversation with all the girls." So she decided to take it to a point where she came at me as though she was trying to hurt me. And then that's when I responded, because I see it. And people can say, I responded, it was over the top or whatever, it was cruel or mean. But I thought it was cruel for her to try to hurt me, because she clearly knew I was bothered by the whole conversation about protective styles and wigs and all that. And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get her anyway." So
okay.
the intention on that was there, but I'm indifferent to her. I thought she was horrible at the reunion. I think that.
What that mean?
I thought she didn't bring anything. I think she was boring. I thought she was corny AF. And I was just like, okay, well, I did kind of feel like she deserved to be a housewife before all that. But now I just feel like, girl, we need somebody else, because if this is all you're going to bring, please bring me another choice. Just throw the whole thing away and just start over.
I can't with you. Well, I actually like Tanya. I feel like she's, very different, quirky. I don't know, what Andy say, Canadian or whatever. I like that about her. I think that it's it's just a different type of personality. See, there you go again. The network didn't feel the need to show it, so I don't feel the need to expose it.
I didn't talk about it after that.
Okay, so listen, this is my thing with the whole Tanya situation or whatever. Tanya is fairly new to the show or whatever, right? My thing is, it's like, okay, I get. I mean, did you ever in your mind say, okay, I see that she's trying to, participate in this drama or whatever. But did you have to go for her whole neck? Like, did you have to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Part. Because my thing is, it's like, okay, yeah, what she did, it wasn't cool or whatever. But to me,
There was the intention
like
behind
that type of drama that's just like, oh man, she killed her. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why.
her intention her intent was to be cruel. And so then I matched that cruelty. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying I'm going to match your energy. So if you want to put that energy out there that you're coming for me and you want to embarrass me, you want to hurt me, you want to hurt my brand, all that stuff, then I'm going to do the same. And people want to hate on it because it's me, the same way that they hated on me with the situation with this is another thing I want to talk about. Maybe you can mix this back in with the other part. You know how people always, they were trying to say to you, oh, you don't ever, you never tell Kenya when she's wrong. And that's completely a lie. So for instance, when the whole thing happened with the Cynthia engagement, you were the most upset I've ever seen you be at me, ever. To the point where I was like, is she for real? I was shocked. And then when it comes down to them seeing Nini's behavior in Greece and literally spitting at me, spitting food at me, throwing things at me, threatening to beat me, leaping at me, lunging at me, you can't say that that's wrong. You can't tell your friend that that's completely out of line for her to even go there. You can't say that. Or even bringing my daughter into our arguments or our fights. You can't speak up about that. And then when I do say something about Brooklyn and, oh, she called my baby a buffalo, and then she comes back and double down on something else. And I'm like, you can't say anything. You're going to be quiet as a mouse on that part. I'm like, so I know who these girls are. They want to hate me. They want people to be against me, and they want to say things that are just, it's a false narrative. It's just simply not true. Look at your own behavior and look at your own friends. They've done 10 times worse. You're going to say you don't call me out, but your friend over here trying to spit on me, throwing stuff at me, talking about my child, and you don't say a word. Not a word. Not a word.
That is
not one word.
Okay, here's somebody. Her name is Sepeda Johnson. I think it's Sepeda, Cepeda Johnson. Says, tricky question for you both, so not sure it will be asked. She says, number one, does Kenya or you think Nene is still a good fit for the show? I definitely think that Nene Leakes is a good fit for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, just because her behavior is a lot of times over the top. And I feel like, the show is over the top. That's what the show is, craziness, So I don't feel like, I feel like what she does, obviously, if things get physical, definitely I feel like it's out of line. But, all the shade, all the crazy talking and all of that stuff is free for all or whatever. And so I would say that she's still a good fit. So moving on to question number 2. Does Kenya think Portia made up with Nene because she needs a housewife ally next season? Oh, I didn't even think.
Yeah, but this is the thing about Portia being a pawn. She doesn't need Nene. She can stand on her own. I think probably now Portia has more fans than Nene does. Why would she friend her when she can stand on her own? I just think that it's just a matter of, like what I was saying, is like, she can put a crown on her head, but that just means that you're a pawn with a crown. Doesn't mean that you're a queen.
Okay, I cannot. I would think it would be the other way around. I would feel like Nene is using Portia, her ally, for 100%.
100%. But that still means that Portia is a pawn.
This is a lot. Okay, I agree with what you were saying about this. I feel like this is one of my most intense speak on it. You got me over here sweating, girl. I'm like, oh Lord. Oh, Lord, all the clips that they're gonna be taking from this and saying, "Oh, I hate Candy and Kenya."
Well, hate is a strong word. It's just
You get a lot of hate.
I think that I get a lot of people that are young and online that are of a certain caliber of a person who don't really think things thoroughly. Those people are very passionate about speaking up against me. But at the same time, if I was not there, they would be just as passionate at wanting me back.
Well, all right.
Hair toss.
How do you prepare for reunions?
You know what? I don't. I really just don't like reunions. I just really focus on trying to relax. I just think it's another day. I don't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a great
thing. After, it's just like you just feel so dirty. I just think this one, I was just so over it. I was just so over, certain people's behavior and namely two. And the other was expected.
Who's the other? Who's the other?
I mean, I expect Marlo to be nasty because that's all she's ever done to me since I didn't invite her to my housewarming party. And she's just got, as the Trinidadians say, a bee in her bonnet for me.
Let me say this, Kenya. This is since you're getting on the Marlo situation. Okay, you and Marlo's disagreements obviously has started a long time ago. But there definitely was a moment in time when you all had, gotten cool with each other, right?
Yeah.
So why does it keep reverting back to the negativity or the drama?
You have to ask Marlo that, because when we were at the Bailey Q, I was, first of all, when I was pregnant and I came to Cynthia's party, she was right along under Nini's, skirt in her ass. And Nini was saying I was a monster. Here I am, a pregnant woman, 8 months, pregnant. And she's saying horrible things about me, unwarranted. All I spoke to her. I don't care what the camera showed. I spoke to her. I said, hello, Nini, or hello, whichever the one I said. I definitely said hello because it doesn't cost you anything to say hello. And then Marlo was like, doing that in her mouth. And it's just like, what is your problem? Even when we did the walk, when we were doing the walk in Toronto, I was very nice to her. I was encouraging to her. Even when we did the dinner that, we were having the conversation at the last dinner in Toronto, and this wasn't shown on camera, and we were talking about marriages and children and what she wanted. And I said, Marlo, if that's something that you really want in your life, you will have it. I was very kind to Marlo. And how many times on that bus did Marlo ask me to tell her where, to unblock her? Do you remember that? How many times did Marlo ask me to unblock her on Instagram? So you have to ask Marlo that question. I think Marlo and I are cool until Nene comes around. When Nene is not around, Marlo is all in my ass. She's a secret fan. Trust me, she lives for me. And she does. I'm not trying to be, any other way, but I'm telling the truth. That girl lives for me. Okay. She's always comparing us. I'm like, don't compare myself to you because I'm not you. But I've always been nice to her. And she somehow wants to align herself with Nene. And that's what it is. They need each other. Nene needs a laptop.
Nene is the reason you guys can't really fix your relationship?
Yeah, because Marlo is actually cool with me when Nene's not around. So what do you think it is? I'm cool with her regardless until she starts hurling insults at me and coming at me for no reason. I'm like, I'm not going to do this with you. I've been nice to you and I don't deserve for you to talk to me like that or say things to me like that. I actually don't really, I feel like we could be on a path to mending whatever the problems are, but you keep saying the same old thing. You keep saying the same things that you've been saying for 5, 6, 7 years. You're talking about, I can't keep a man. When have you ever had a man? Ever. Like, a man does not define a woman. I'm a strong, beautiful Black woman, educated. I am the prototype, okay, of what a woman really should be on her job. Just like you, Candy. You're a great mother. You're a great wife. You're a great daughter. You're a great friend. You're all of those things. Why wouldn't a man want you? And even if he doesn't, those are my options. If I say I want this one, that one, or the other, those are my choices. If If a man is not worth keeping, then why do I want him? A man does not define you. And that is the message that they're constantly putting out there. That's why you can't keep a man. Okay, so now you're talking to your friend Portia over here too, because she's had more men on the show than you have, right? Her man cheated on her. Is her, at PUSSY no good because her man over here cheating on her? So what are you talking about? Like, they just make no sense. So I consider the source and I just keep it moving because they are just so dumb to me that the things that they say, I'm paying somebody. Now, why would somebody, again, you're going back to Walter. Walter got hit with a cease and desist because he was lying, but Walter has never said I paid him. Walter said I try to ask him to be my boyfriend. And Candy, you know that situation because you knew Walter. So you know better than anybody here that Walter was telling a damn lie. You have seen Walter in action.
Well, I knew y'all were dating for real.
Exactly. So
his best friends is my he like family to me. I'm godmother of their kids. So I knew Walter well before he came on the show.
And the thing is, right, these people get so stuck on stupid and they just continue something that they've heard or what they want to believe. I don't have to pay anybody. They want to try to keep putting that on me. Why would my husband want to be married to somebody? If he has all this money, he is an entrepreneur, he is an MBA, he's fine, he's smart, he's successful, he already has children. Why on earth would he say, okay, I'm going to marry you for fake? Or I need a check if I'm married. Like, what are you talking about? You sound crazy. Do you hear yourself? What is the benefit to him? It makes no sense, but they keep this false narrative going as though this is the truth. And it's like, do you hear yourself talking? Like, what part of that makes any sense? And my marriage certificate or anything like that, because listen, I am married in the eyes of God. My child, I'm married in the eyes of God. I'm married in the eyes of the law. I am legally married. And that is why I was like, I don't have anything to prove to these people. I know what it is. My child was born in wedlock. Okay. So I don't understand why, you can't summon me. Like, you can sit here. I've heard it a million times. If I present my marriage certificate, then it's like, oh, it's fake. But nobody will send somebody down to St. Lucia to go to the courthouse and see that it's documented. But they want to just keep on saying it. But no one wants to have any proof because the proof is there.
One of the blogs said that your certificate was dated 2019.
That was when I got a copy of my certificate. So it was dated when the copy was produced. I have 2 copies of I ordered 2 and Mark has the original one, but they're still certified copies. So it's when you get that copy, it's signed. Go down to the courthouse and ask the courthouse, is my marriage documented or not? And then somebody was like, oh, the sticker is the wrong, like, just go away. Just go away. Believe whatever you
I don't even think
such ignorant people that I just marvel at the ignorance of people. These people have never either been married, they don't know the law, they don't know international law, they don't know anything. And I'm sorry, but I just feel like I'm just above that kind of stupidity. You want to, why would I show something that's false when you can easily go down, if you have the coins, or call St. Lucia, call the courthouse? Because I easily could have had, they give you 2 options. You can just have a ceremony, just to have a ceremony, or you can have a legal ceremony. They give you 2 options. I chose the legal ceremony. I have witnesses. I have my paperwork. I'm legally married. Get over it. I even saw somebody saying, oh, when I posted a picture of Brooklyn being born, somebody was like, oh, that's a lot of Photoshop. And they were serious. They were trying to the delivery roll with. What else? I can't with these people. They're just so dumb. Like, I just can't. My brain cells, they can't take that type of ignorance. They just can't.
Well, honey bun, I could talk to you forever, but I know it's like I can't let you just keep talking forever.
I know.
You're killing and ripping people to shreds as you're talking.
You just get to a point where, enough is enough. I don't care. I'm going to defend myself. And I don't have to raise my voice to do it. I don't have to call you.
Oh my gosh. Reading. You were calmly reading the hell out of everybody sitting in your chair, all cute on reunion.
You're the makeup queen. I don't have to make up anything.
Thank you. Yes, I am the makeup queen. You see it. But no, my point
And not the
at
makeup
my
on your
rainbow
face.
event.
Okay, girl.
I'm not gonna give you the fight that you want. You're gonna have to work a lot harder for your storyline next season, girl, than trying to pick a fight with me that makes no sense. Not gonna happen.
Well, what do you have coming up that people can expect to look for?
Oh, hold on. I gotta put Brooklyn down though, because I need to read something.
Okay.
So I want to tell you guys about Baby Quest. So, I'm involved with Baby Quest. I'm their newest ambassador, and Baby Quest grants, they give grants to couples, singles, gay, straight, anything, any combination of people, race, blindly, those needing assisted reproduction. That means surrogacy, that means IVF, IUI, sperm donors, egg donors, anything that you can think of in any combination, egg freezing, they do it all, and they're nonprofit. And I'm just so happy to work with them. So I just got this info from Baby Quest that they just picked their newest recipient. So they just picked 9 new grant recipients.
Wow.
And 3 of them who are my followers, Lindsay from Buffalo, Trisha from Tampa, and Christina from Georgia. So congratulations to all of them. And remember, the next deadline is September the 9th. So I'm really excited. They gave out 9 new grants. So IVF can cost an upwards of like $20,000 per cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And for surrogates, it could be $50,000 and up. So
right.
That kind of money laying around. And Baby Quest, they do not feel, and I don't feel, that having a child should be based on class or how much money you have. And they're willing to just give to people who really want the miracle of having a baby. So yay, Baby Quest.
That's really nice. Well, congratulations. Yeah, that is really dope to be a part of such a wonderful organization.
The other thing is Kenya Moore Hair Care is expanding.
Yeah.
Going to be in another major retailer, but I will announce that when it's time.
Kenya Moore Hair Care. Kenya Moore. Girl.
I'm so blessed. I have to tell you that, hair is my passion, and to be able to sit and invest in myself, trying to figure out how to do this. And one of the things that I really loved about Real Housewives of Atlanta before I joined is you, Candy, because you were a boss and you had your bedroom candy line and it was doing all this great stuff. And just to watch you be the boss that you are. And I'm like, I'm a boss. I can really do this hair care line. And it seemed so out of reach at first, but watching you seamlessly grow your businesses, introduce businesses, and doing it all on your own, I was like, I can do that too. So hopefully, you were an inspiration to me. Bethany Frankel was an inspiration to me. And hopefully I can be an inspiration to other people out there too.
Well, congratulations, Kenya.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on the show today. And I want to tell everybody to make sure you follow Kenya on all platforms, the Kenya Moore, as well as please subscribe to my channel, comment, share this post, share this. Yeah, it was like, honey, it was a lot, honey. It was a lot.
But it was fun. We always have fun and we keep it real. So.
Yes, we do. Well, until next time, thank you for watching. Speak on it.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree.